Hello, everyone. Welcome to Superstar Asian Interview. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited here for another episode, and I have here today a treat for you. I have a great agent who is smart, savvy, so interesting, exciting to talk to. So, without any further delay, I want to introduce you to Super Rick Warner.
Hi,
Hello,
Vanda. How
Rick.
are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing fantastic. So excited to have you here with me. And I would love for you to share your energy, your wisdom, your journey with this wonderful tribe. And Rick, we have here people brand new, people that are starting over, and
Sure.
amazing veterans. So go ahead, tell us where you joining us from, what do you do, what you
Sure.
coming from. Tell us a little bit about
Okay,
yourself, my
great. Yeah,
friend.
thank you. So yeah, I'm 20 years in the business as a real estate agent. So I got licensed in 2004. I'm up in Northern California, mostly Marin and Sonoma counties. I love, love, love being in the real estate business. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here and see, what are the questions that you might have for me that I can help your audience so that they can enjoy the business the same way that you and I have really come to enjoy the business.
I love it. I love, yeah, yeah. This is real as can get. We're just gonna have a great conversations. So
Yeah.
let us know here. How did you get started in real estate?
It's funny. I was asked that question yesterday, and I said I got in real estate the same way most of us do. I failed at a whole bunch of other things and then ended up in real estate. I had been a financial advisor before that, and I had actually moderate success there. But I ended up buying a house myself
Mm.
through the help with the help of this is so embarrassing. This is very cringy for those of us who are agents listening to this call, but this is just what happened. I had a mortgage broker who was my client, and he helped me write an offer. And he said, "Hey, just give me some money back, and you can keep the rest." And I bought the house, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, this is so easy to be in real estate," and which is, of course, very naive. But I started a business model kind of based on that, and that's how I ended up in real estate. But it really fit me like a glove, more so than financial services. And I was lucky enough, and I think a lot of it had to do with the market at the time. You remember you were in the business then too, 2004, 2005, 2006. I mean, it was crazy. And there was a lot
Right.
of deals going on. Money was easy to come by. And so I had this false sense of my ability in the real estate world. And the reason I mention that is I think that's really indicative of kind of what we're seeing right now, right? Where there was a lot of people that maybe got into business in the last few years. There was some success, there was a lot of volume. And then the last couple of years have been really hard, for a lot of agents without systems and processes in place. And so I went through that discovery too. But that's how I got in the real estate business.
Right, right. I love it. And by the way, it happens. You got your foot wet and you like it, said, okay, I'm going
Yeah.
forward with this. So congrats. So then in that time, after that, we had the mortgage and the real estate industry meltdown, right?
Yeah.
2006, 2007. It hit us a little bit. At the time, I was selling homes in the Central Valley. So I know it hit us first and then went to the Bay Area later. So what's some of the struggles? Because like you said, some of the struggles, not at that big level of
Right.
those 2006, 2007,
Yes.
but we have some struggles here right now that's kind of
Totally.
similar.
I think
So
it's
what's
very
some of
similar.
some of the struggle you had and what are some of the things you did to break through?
Sure. Yeah. So this is actually one of my favorite stories because it's so indicative of first of maybe just the human condition, but I really did have some great success early on to the point where I bought a brand new house in a brand new neighborhood. It was the best neighborhood in my town.
Nice.
It was super expensive. I had a stay-at-home wife. I had three little kids. I mean, everything was just really great. 2000,
Moving.
I literally closed June of 2006. So if you look back now on charts, I literally bought this house at exactly the wrong time, right? And so, but then as the market started to go sideways, it was sideways for 2007, but 2008 is when it really fell off the cliff here. September of 2008, actually, and September of 2009. So 1 year later, I was kind of barely hanging on. I wasn't really selling
Right.
any houses. How you sold houses completely changed overnight. half of the houses we were doing were just stress sales, which means they were either short sales or they are REOs. These are things that you know about, but maybe the younger agents don't know.
Wow.
And so on my 40th birthday, September 2nd, 2009, which I had been planning for for like a couple of years. My oldest son was turning 21. We were going to go to Las Vegas. It was going to be great. And on September 2nd, 2009, I could not even pay my own mortgage on my brand new house. And I was terrified. It was
Devastating.
awful. The pressure I felt on my chest, I felt like a failure. I felt like, what have I done? Who did I think I was? Why did I buy this house? Why did I buy that new car? And what am I going to do? Can I even afford to be in this business? Do I need to get a real job? Like these were all the questions that I was up against. And really what it came down to is I looked around and I looked at, well, what is it going to cost me to have this lifestyle? There was no other job available that was going to create the kind of income I could create by just being great at real estate. And so the discovery was, okay, I really wasn't great at real estate. The market had taken me and made it seem like I was great, but I needed to go get coached. I needed to go get trained. I needed to figure out how it is that you can survive and actually ultimately thrive in a market when things are not going great, where the volume is
Right.
just really wonky and there's tons of inventory. Nobody wants to close a deal. And so that is what I did.
Wow. So, gosh, I remember this time, and I'm sorry you went through that because me too. I went
I'm
like,
not. I'm not sorry at all because it really changed who I was.
it's so
Yes, it
true,
was
right?
hard, but I'm not. I don't know who I'd be had I not been through that experience, to be honest.
I know sometimes
Yeah.
your mess is your message. Your
Yeah.
mess is your testimony. It give you more resilience. No, I say about, some of the tears that we went through or the stress,
Sure.
but it was necessary. It helped us
100%.
to elevate and break through a whole level. And
Yeah.
today, fast forward today, we had 2021, right? That
Yeah.
was the perfect storm.
Right.
Right
Yeah.
after COVID, remember?
Yeah, of course.
Right
I
after
think it was
COVID, what
it was
happened?
during COVID. I remember thinking, and this is why I tell people I have no idea what direction the real estate market's going to go. When we shut everything down, I thought it was pretty obvious that the market was going to go to in the dumper. I thought it was going to be horrible, right? People don't have jobs. We couldn't even show houses. You remember at the beginning, we could literally couldn't show houses. Then we could only show vacant houses. I'm like, well, this is obviously going to be bad for the real estate market. And it was exact opposite. It was the greatest thing ever. If you didn't live in a city, if you were like on any kind of outskirt at all, man, it was just crazy what was happening.
It was crazy, and
Yeah.
everybody was pushed to
Yeah.
adjust, adapt, change. And
Yeah.
then after that, after the 2022, even 2020 was hot. I mean, one of my clients too, just like you, Andrea, and was just selling homes. You put boots on the ground.
Yeah.
So she was selling a lot of homes in the Bay Area, even if without going there because she had her health. She said, "I'm not gonna get, compromised because I have asthma, etc." But we put boots on the ground, and she had people showing the homes for her, and she was able to negotiate, and she had one
Yeah.
of the best year ever.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
2021 comes around, low interest rate in decades.
Yeah.
Everybody and
Ridiculous.
their dog want to move, right? Remember,
Yep.
everybody want to move. All the millennials came back into the market, so it was a perfect storm,
Yeah.
the best year recorded in over 50 years. Everybody sold homes.
Yeah.
And then what happened 2022, 2023?
Yeah, then the interest rates overnight almost went up. I mean, it was so unprecedented how quickly I think we all felt like, okay, interest rates are not going to stay down at 3%. It's not even healthy. We knew that it needed to be probably more in the fives, right? Maybe anywhere in the fives probably would have been healthy. And then they just overnight they went right through the fives into the sixes and into the sevens. And all of a sudden now we've got a whole different problem,
Right.
which is that the delta between where everybody owns their house at 3% and now to buy a new house, they have to buy at 7%. Well, none of those people are going to choose to sell their home and get a new mortgage at 7%, right? So now we're down to just circumstantial sales, death, divorce, change of job. And so that took the market, 40% of the market just went away. So the overall volume went down by 40% about 3 years ago, and it's essentially stayed down, right? We never got that back. And so if you've been in the business only for 4 years, you had 1 year of craziness. Oh my gosh, the volume. And then you've had 3 years like, where are all the clients? How do I make sales
Exactly.
happen?
Right. Yeah, and then of course you have to really be careful with your mindset. So,
Yes,
and understand that, well, now it's time to go even more pro, ultra advisor, and find the people that really, really have to buy, really have to sell, because there's always people that
that's right.
right? And so you adjusted, you adapted. So
Yeah.
how is business?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm super fortunate. A couple things. One is I started long ago creating relationships with attorneys, both estate attorneys and family law. And
Nice.
so I would say that probably 80% of my business is around divorce or death. That I know that's morbid, but independent of all economic circumstances, death and divorce still happens. And so the volume for me, there's a baseline of volume that still happens. And so for me, it's been okay. I mean, I'm not having my well, actually, last year I think I had close to my best year. This year's a little bit slower so far, but my pipeline is
Picking
really
up.
big, and I'm sure by the end of the year it'll be similarly good. But the other thing too, Vanda, and by the way, in case the viewers do not know, you're a coach of mine, which I love, and you're so how you coach is so, you know what I love about it? It's from your experience. It's not something you read in a book. It's not something that somebody told you. We're learning from your experience, which is really, really
Thank you.
invaluable. And one of the things that is so important to me is it's not just how much business have I done, but what's the quality of my life? And
Exactly.
so for a long time, it's for me, it's been, hey, I want to work 40 hours a week or less, and I don't want to work nights and weekends. And so it took me a while to get to that point to create that world, but through having the right team and having the right systems and processes in my world, I not only have a pretty good volume of business that I'm very satisfied with, but even better than that, I'm not working nights and weekends. And so I think that I couldn't answer the question, how's business without putting the quality of life in there as well.
Oh, but that's beautiful because when we talk about business, this is exactly what I'm talking about too, because having the money and having a business that's growing but being miserable in life, that's in my book is failure, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought them all together.
That was my 2014. 2014, I sold more houses than I've ever sold because I was coming out of that place of 2009, right? I mean, and I exploded out of it. I
Yeah,
exploded out of it. I mean,
yeah,
I was the number one in my office. We had 145 agents, whatever. I was number one in volume, number one in total sales, and but I also worked 70 hours a week. I didn't have any, I was always on the phone. I didn't have any time with my family. I definitely was not taking vacations. That was totally out of the question. I worked almost every single day. I mean, occasionally I would play a round of golf or something like that. And that's not the life that I want to live.
right. Exactly. That was 2014.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, super tribe here. This is a beautiful testimonial here. So he went successful, and then he went tough times, and he came back again successful. He's sharing some great experiences, some great lessons. I hope you guys are paying attention and taking notes. That he got more resilient, stronger, more focused. And by the way, thank you for the love, appreciating your coach here. You also as a great mentor and coach for your team, doing really well. And now he realized, yes, it's not only about working hard and grinding. If you are grinding, I tell them all the time, Rick, if we are grinding, something's wrong, or we lack the proper mindset, right? We don't
Yeah.
have boundaries,
Yeah.
we don't have standards, we don't have consistency, we don't have persistence,
So we
or
don't
we
have systems, we don't have
or
processes.
we
Yeah,
fail
exactly.
in the
Yeah.
mechanics, no
Yeah.
systems, no process,
Yeah.
everything's winging. I just
Yeah.
talked to a lady early today, and she only sold 3 homes last year, Rick. She has no system whatsoever,
Yeah.
nothing, no system process. And she said, my kids tell me, Mom, I never see you.
Yeah,
I
right.
never see you.
I
I'm
never
like
see you.
that.
And she only sold 3 homes. Like that. This is exactly this is the dilemma that's out there. It's really sad. It's really
Isn't it
sad.
sad? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd realize, okay, I want to succeed because growth is part of happiness and progress. I want to succeed. I want to feel like I'm growing, but I also want to have a better life and quality life. So what did you do? You start building your team from 2014. Walk us through a little bit of the things you did to change to
Yeah.
get what you right now, because right now
Yeah.
you're having a much better experience overall. Tell us more.
100%. Yeah, no, exactly. So what I changed was I stopped being everything. I stopped being the person had to do all of the marketing and all the home showings and all of the, it was like, nope. My focus became, I'm a negotiator, I'm a relationship creation and cultivation person, and I manage my team. And the manage my team part is everything I don't like to do or that I shouldn't be doing because this is what I should be doing is just these two things. My job is to create and cultivate relationships and negotiate deals. That's it. I don't write contracts. I rarely show houses. I don't do any marketing stuff other than approve, marketing stuff. Same thing with contracts, obviously. I mean, I say what I want the contract to look like. My team writes a contract. I approve it. I look like it's but
I
I
love
honestly don't even know how to use the DocuSign or any of that stuff. I had a
properly.
problem the other day. One of my team members were gone on a weekend, and I couldn't even do it. So that's not good. But the point is
Working on it.
that's how separated I am from the day-to-day operations. Like I don't want to know how to do stuff. My job is to do those three things.
I love it. So everyone, what I hear, by the way, I love that you bring that up. What I hear is I do what I love. I do my strengths
Yeah,
and I do the best and I apply the things at the best use of my time. I'm
yeah,
lead generating, I'm lead follow-up, I'm negotiating, I'm
yeah,
cultivating, nurturing my business. And I
yeah,
delegate the rest, I outsource the rest. And that's how it should be done. Now,
yeah,
Rick, a lot of agents, veterans, or even you are listening to you, I'm like, what? For me to delegate and release control. So
yeah,
I know people are doubting and they still trying to do everything and have that
yeah,
employee
yeah,
mentality instead of
yeah,
employer and unless, unless instead of delegating. So
yeah,
how did you had some fear about that? How did you get to the idea of, okay, I'm a CEO and I can delegate and
yeah,
outsource and I'm only going to do the best. How was
yeah,
your mindset shift on that part
yeah.
so you can help someone here listening?
No, really great question. I think there's two main things that they need to be overcome for most people. First of all, is just the cost. They go, "Oh my gosh, what if I don't have any deals and I can't pay for my employees?" Because by the way, my model is not get a buyer's agent and give them half of my commissions. Okay. I'm not saying there isn't a role for buyer's agents in a team sometime, but my model is I pay a licensed person that is on my team to do the things I want them to do, the way I want them to do them, when I want them to do them. They're an employee. They get payroll tax. And therefore, I have control over all those things and I can coach them. This is how I want you to show a house. When you show up, I want you to have these three things, and here's the things I want you to talk about, and here's the things I don't want you to talk about. And and by the way, that same person does a lot of my admin stuff. So it's not like I have all of this,
Right.
I don't have to have tons of showings going on to keep them busy. They're an everything person. And so hiring the right person and um getting over that fear. And what happened for me, and this was even in 2000, I think I hired my first assistant in 2010 or 11. So, and it was like, okay, if I can hire somebody and delegate that stuff, now I can go out and do the things that I'm really great at, and that where the big money is to create those relationships and negotiate the deals. And then the other lie is the control thing that you mentioned, which is no, 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 nobody can do it as good as me. My clients need me.
Yes.
And it's so egotistical, first of all, but it's also such a limiting belief because what you really could do is train any of your people to be better at that one thing that you need them to do than you could even be. There's no way that I could be a great showing agent and a great relationship cultivator and a great manager of a team. It would just be too much, right?
Yes.
And so it's letting go of that control because it's a lie. You're
It
not
is.
that. You're not unrepeatable. You know what I mean? Like you can train somebody to be better at it than
So
than you
true.
are. Yeah.
Bingo, bingo. I agree completely. And that's what the thing we say. The clients, at the end of the day, they want the best result, the best experience, and there
Yes.
will be customer experience and all the experience itself. And they want to make sure they are taken care. So
Yeah.
it's just like the doctor analogy.
Yeah.
You
It's
call the
exactly
best
like Dr.
doctor,
Nurse. It's
right?
Dr. Nurse 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor is not answering the phone, doing the
Yeah.
bookkeeping,
Yeah.
and being the nurse. No, he does what he does best, and that's beautiful mindset that you did, that you shift, and now you learn to delegate and trust the team. I believe you trust, because I know I have the honor of coaching and talking to you. You believe in sharing the wealth,
Yes,
hiring people, giving them a job, coaching them, training them so they can do what they do best, and allow you to do what you do best and have the life that you want.
that's right.
Self and have a life.
Yeah.
I love that. So
Yeah, and I
now,
treat everybody on my team like they're my family. Like I mentor them. They are not just employees. You go over here and do that. I'm interested. I'm invested in them, right, in
I
their
love
life,
it. Yeah,
and I want to know where are they trying to go,
yeah.
right?
Because
And
Rick, you are a leader. You're not a boss. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah. And thank you. And so that's what's important to me. So that if somebody leaves, like I had an assistant for 5 or 6 years. And she left and she cried when she left. She felt so bad that she was leaving me. And I'm like, don't feel bad. Let me, I wrote a letter about her to all the clients and she went to go be an agent on her own. And I'm like, go, be good, go be great. Let me know how I can help you. Let me mentor you. Let me,
Love it.
whatever. And I think that that's missing from agents a lot. Like there's this scarcity mentality
Exactly.
where it's like, no, you're gonna steal my, and I've trained you. And no, 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 no. Go give to your community, go give to your clients, but give to the people that are on your team, and then they love you. They want to stay, but when they leave, you go, okay, great. Now I get a chance to mentor somebody else.
Exactly. Now, this is the mentality of the CEO, of the leader. Leader generates new leaders, not followers, and you are building up that, and I love that. So then, let's go back to today. Okay,
Yeah.
today I know you have a lot of interest. So everyone, this is a guy who touch different people, who has big dreams, big aspirations, and I love it. I love being part of your team and working together. Great energy. So share here with us. So right now you expanding your horizon. So what are you up to today?
Well, so yeah, so first of all, in 3 days, I told you I live in Northern California. You're in San Diego. In 3 days, we take our apartment in San Diego also. Because
Nice.
I've created a lifestyle where I can do that. Now, I'm going to be flying back and forth. I'm not completely independent of my team or anything like that, but because I have this such a great team, I get to be in San Diego for 3 or 4 weeks out of the month, starting this Friday, which is super exciting.
Nice.
In addition to that, my next big thing is to continue to mentor people on my team. So I'm looking for agents in my area that are wanting to really be in this business, but they're not there yet. And so I'm
Mhm.
offering them to be on my team. I will teach them everything that I've done, all the systems, all the processes, all of the way that we reach out to people. We're very systemic on how do we reach out to people, how frequently, what do we say, our 4 client events a year, the letters that we send out to people, our evidence of success. We have a whole process, and we want to just give that to them and be like, look at now, you need to, if you want to be like us, you need to do these things as well. You can be on our team. We're going to
Yeah.
coach you how to do it. We're going to coach you how to negotiate. We're going to include you in on the phone calls so that they can go out in a year or two and then go be. So the idea is come be on my team for a year or two and then go be out on your own, as opposed
Yeah.
to come be on my team and don't ever leave. And if you do, I'm going to
Yeah.
be mad.
Yeah.
And so
Or
that's what we're looking
stay.
for.
I love it. I love it. Or you stay if you want. Like I had a buyer agent on my team that was
Yeah.
11 years, 12
Of
years.
course, I would love them to stay, but the
Yeah.
idea is to send them off in a limousine, as a party, right?
I love it. You
Yeah.
see, abundance mindset, okay? You help others and you release the outcome. You're not attached to people stay or loving you or going. I love that. So all of you listening, guys, I know some of you guys might be thinking, oh, this is so far out my style. Now, everyone has a place that you are, and there's a place to go. There's always a different level. You can have boots on the ground like Rick does, right? And you can have also a mega team with 15, 20 people, like I coach many of them. You decide, this is the model I want. I want to have just staff and employees, and I'll be selling homes. Or I want to have 3 agents on my team that I mentor coach, just like what Rick said, and then they can come and go, but I will have an agreement at least a year or so I can benefit. But the beauty I want you to get this from this great conversation, Rick, one of the reasons I invited him here is because his mindset of abundance, of a CEO entrepreneurship, and he's not attached to everything. He understands the power that, yes, we are in the relationship business. We are here to nurture our database, also create out other niches like he has already, the attorneys, right? I had two, by the way, Rick. I deal with a lot of the
Yeah.
attorney. I had two attorneys who send me referrals all the time. So that's a lead source. That's a niche that he's mastering so well. And now he's not waiting for something to happen. He's creating opportunity. You creating opportunities. You creating your future. You creating your destiny. I love it. So knowing that, seeing where you are, there are so many agents struggling right now, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Struggling, defeated, feeling down, blaming the market, blaming the interest rate or the economy or the president, whether you like him or not, you know, and also just hoping and waiting. So, what would you say to those agents to inspire them, engage them, and put some fire in the feet so they can go and succeed and believe like us?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's great. So I think that every time I'm struggling, and I'm going to say this about them that they're struggling, whenever I'm struggling with something, I know that it's from that pain, just like I had in September of 2009, that you have the opportunity to grow, that you have that fuel inside of you to go, wait a minute, I am not going to live like this. And so take this frustration, the sadness, that scarcity, that feeling of I'm not going to make it, and turn it into I am going to make it. I'm now willing to do the things I wasn't willing to do before because things were kind of coming my way, and now they're not. So I call it my working edge. The working edge is where it's like just beyond my comfort zone, right? I remember one of my first coaches, I was like maybe 2000, it's around that time, 2009 or 10, where she said, Rick, I really want you to learn how to be comfortable outside of your comfort zone. And I'm committed to being outside of my comfort zone. Renting an apartment in San Diego doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but that's outside of my comfort zone. I mean, I'm not used to that. In 2009, I took this course where they wanted me to say the script that I didn't want to say. The script was terrible, Vanda. This was the script. Vanda, I'm taking this really great course right now, and we're having a contest to see who can generate the most leads in real estate. So, Vanda, who do you know that's thinking about buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate that I could call today? That was the script. I saw it up on the board, and I'm like, that's terrible. I'm never going to say that. That's not me. I had all this resistance. But what I also had was this really super expensive home and the three little kids that wanted to eat. And I was willing to do the things that I didn't really want to do. And from doing that, I had to have that conversation 20 times a day, 5 days a week for 8 weeks. So that's 100 conversations a day. And that changed my life.
So
And when you
you did the final point here. You did.
yeah, exactly. So the business is out there. Yes, the business is down 40%, but 60% of the business is still happening. And so it's your opportunity to go out and grab it. It's
Exactly.
there.
Exactly. I love that. And I love that you put yourself in, uncomfortable and make yourself embrace the challenge because that's how we grow. There's no growth in the comfort zone. There's no growth. And
Right, right.
that what you're going through right now is preparing you for the next level. I remember really well, I had a lot of situations like you. The most important thing that you guys have to understand is, yes, for you to go to the next level, for going 300 to 500 or 500 to $1 million, you got to first upgrade the software here,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? How you
Yeah.
think bigger, think better, be able to understand the power of delegation, outsourcing, and doing what you do best. It's unfortunately a lot of people go in sales, they don't understand business, they don't have business maturity. Also, they think everything is going to be easy and fast and yesterday. So we know because we've been in the trenches for a while, 20 years, over 20 years here, that it takes time. It takes effort, right?
Yeah.
But you got to keep going, right? Keep learning. So right now we are working together. What is some things you implemented right now?
Well, the thing that I'm working on right now is tightening up my systems and processes to make sure that this transition, as I go through it, that I'm ready to have those mentored agents come on, and then I'm just working with you on tightening up all of the like you've asked me to we have a coaching call tomorrow, I think, and so I have some assignments that I need to do. I think having somebody that you're reporting to, whether it's a coach or a mentor, I have to have, and I've always had since 2000, since that time, 2009, I've always had somebody that I was reporting to. It wasn't always somebody in real estate. Sometimes maybe it was personal development, maybe it was some other business coach, but I always had somebody that was pushing me beyond, that was giving me a perspective that was outside of my own head. And so that's the thing that I want to make sure that your listeners, if they don't have somebody like that, go get somebody like that. And then the other thing I'm going to suggest is no matter how long they've been in the business, that they get somebody that they are a mentor for. So even if you're newer in the business, there's always somebody newer than you who you can be a leader for. But what happens is when you're being a leader for somebody else, then your business explodes. And so make sure you have the person above you and have the person below you so that it's like a chain link, that you guys are in it together and that you're committed to that growth and not letting your feelings determine your actions.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, because we were talking about the other day that we determine our emotion.
Yeah.
Nobody has the power to determine how we feel unless we give them that power, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly. And I'll tell you one more thing. I decided 2019, I had a little bit of a slow pipeline in front of me. I saw it and I was a little bit worried. I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, I just felt like I was at the mercy of my emotions. And then I said to him, you know what? I'm no longer going to let my external circumstances dictate my internal happiness. That
exactly.
they're just unrelated, right? There's always going to be circumstances, but if I'm going to let my internal happiness be determined by what's going on out there, well, then I'm always going to be riding a roller coaster. But I could just decide, you know what? I'm going to be grateful. I have so much to be grateful for. My life is, I mean, even when things are tough, even when I don't have money, whatever it is, I still have things to be grateful for. And so it's
Exactly.
my job to focus in on those, be excited about that, keep a positive attitude, knowing that at some point it's going to change around again anyway.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. Yes, we're not puppets, right?
Yeah.
We're not puppets. The moment we allow people to control our emotion, if we have a bad day or good day, we're not in our true power. So you got to that point, my darling. You got to the point that you are the creator, not the victim, not the puppet. You are creating your day every day. You invest in yourself. You have your coach. You are looking for what's my next level, what my next breakthrough, what limitation do I need to break. You are improving yourself. And I love that you have the mentality also of mentoring others because, many times I tell people that I coach and people that I meet, I said, if you have a lot of fear right now, it's because you really think a lot about yourself.
Yeah. Self-centered
Okay.
fear. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you think about what if this happened about me or my future, you think about yourself. So don't chase success. Just work on getting better every day, stronger every day, and find people that you're going to give and
Make a
guide
difference,
and
right? Make a
make a
difference for
difference,
other
bring value.
people.
And
Yeah.
then you don't have the fear of doing the video. You don't have the fear to make the phone call. You
Right.
don't have the fear of to go do an event because you're not worried who's going to love or like, or you're just giving,
Yeah.
giving value, value. So you are in that level already. You're in a level of growth, also of contribution. You already know that the power. So the more I teach, the more I learn. I love that. This is
Yeah.
awesome. So any last before you share with all this wonderful tribe here, how to reach out to you, your Instagram handle, in your email.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. So my
Before
actually,
that, oh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. My Instagram is the Rick Warner, and I'd love to have you follow me there if you're an agent from anywhere else and you've got some deals to do in Marin County or Petaluma. We would love to help you out there. And if you just want to chat or if there's some question you had about whatever I was saying, I'm always available to just connect with people.
Fantastic. So any last thought?
Yeah, my last thought is hire Vanda.
Thank you so
If you
much.
if you if you're if you don't have a coach, Vanda's great. She's got really great opportunities. There's a whole community, so it's not necessarily just one-on-one. And there's a lot of good, even if you know stuff, like I know a lot of stuff. I love going on your coaching calls because it either reminds me of something I hadn't thought about in a while, or it gives me something new that I didn't even know about. And so I really appreciate being part of your coaching
Oh, I appreciate immensely. And I know a fellow mentor as well. You are a great student and you're an amazing mentor and coach as well for your team. And I know I have two coaches myself. There's always a better level. There's always a better time. So thank you so much for your energy, my friend.
Thank you, Vanda. It's great to be part of your
Great part of be
podcast
here with
today.
you. Thank you for your energy, for your time, for your wisdom, for bringing to these wonderful people here a different way of thinking and let them know that it's possible. You can have what you want and still have a beautiful life. So thank you. So now, everyone, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you take one thing from this and take action because knowledge without action doesn't take us anywhere. So I love you, kids. Go do your magic, go help a lot of people, and I see you until next time. Bye.